In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you everything that you need to know about how to win more gunfights in Warzone. And we're going to do that by breaking down a recent 41 kill win that I had on Rebirth Island. Really taking a look at each and every kill, helping you understand how I go about winning it. Now, we're going to get into this very quickly, right into the action. When I am landing in, I do not like fighting with a pistol. That's personal preference. So I'm going to find a gun and then figure out what is going on around me. Sometimes nobody's around me and I'm just going to loot up. Other times I happen to catch this enemy pushing in here. Obviously, I don't know what gun he has, but I've got a C9. He doesn't have any plates. This is a pretty even gunfight. And sure enough, this guy slides in. We're able to get both of those kills. Now, nobody else is around me here. So when it comes to winning gunfights, I always prioritize loadout. Prioritize getting my guns and more importantly, getting my perks, okay? Perks are very important and absolutely give us an advantage in gunfights when it comes to, survivor and having our base health regen quicker, whether it is tempered and being able to put plates in quicker, or dexterity, or quick fix, or sprinter. Like, all of those allow us to, or give us an advantage in gunfights. So I'm going to prioritize that loadout. The other thing I will say is obviously loadout guns, we feel more comfortable. They have better intangibles, right? The loadout C9 doesn't kill faster than the floor loot C9. They kill the exact same, but my loadout guns have better mobility. I feel more comfortable, potentially less recoil, potentially more range. So I always try to prioritize loadout. Now, getting into the crux of winning gunfights, it really comes down to 5 main things. And we're going to go back to these 5 main things throughout this entire video. If you are subscribed, we talk about this all the time. Number 1, aim. Ability to hit high damage areas and just consistently hit shots, giving you a fast TTK. That's what is obviously going to allow you to win gunfights. Number 2, movement. Using basic movement, not YY 360s around enemies, right? Basic movement, slide canceling, strafing, and jumping while shooting to take less damage in gunfights, which allows us to then win more gunfights. Number 3, positioning. Putting yourself in a good position, that mid-range 30 to 40 meters where we can get easier kills with our AR. Low risk, high reward kills. Gameplay strategy is number 4. UAVs, portable radars, giving yourself information that allows you to, number 5, anticipate enemies and get that first shot off. I promise you, if you just focus on your anticipation and getting that first shot, you will absolutely win more gunfights. And we are going to see that a lot throughout this entire gameplay, which is me just being able to get that first shot and giving myself a huge advantage over enemies. If you get first shot, 4 times than not, you are going to win that gunfight unless something crazy happens, unless your tracking is off, unless they make a crazy play. That first shot advantage is huge in this game because of how fast the TTK is. Pause. I'm going to do this a lot throughout this gameplay. What is your thought process here when it comes to winning more gunfights? We've got loadout. We've got perks. We're in a good spot. Where do we go? Okay. When we talk about winning more gunfights, having information to act on is crucial because that allows us to anticipate better, which, by the way, for those of you guys who don't know, anticipation is just having your crosshairs out ready to shoot. By the way, guys, if you are not subscribed, give me 30 days. Give me 30 days, subscribe down below, watch my videos. I promise you'll become a better player. And if not, you can always unsubscribe, but I promise you that's not going to happen. So we're just going to fly to prison here. Prison is generally the hot area. It also gives me a lot of points that I can rotate to, right? From here in prison, there's either going to be people or I can rotate to control. I can rotate to headquarters and grandma's. I can rotate to factory. I can rotate to living quarters. There's a lot of different places that I can get information from top prison and then decide to rotate. Now, in this case, I ultimately decide to play a little bit of positioning. We see this guy right here. This is a situation where you have to execute. You cannot give this guy an opportunity to get behind cover. You've got to be able to hit shots here, control the recoil, which you can easily do recoil training and bot practice to work on your aim. I'll put in the pinned comment. Pinned comment, guys, how to practice if you have 1 to 5 hours a day to play. It'll go over everything in terms of how to get better aim and movement. But from here, we get kill number 3. We notice on the minimap that nobody else is around us. Now, when it comes to winning gunfights, guys, sometimes this is going to happen, okay? In this case, I'm going to die. Now, if you want to click away right now because I die and then I go on to drop 41 kills because you don't think I know what I'm talking about, that's fine. But you know what? Biffle dies, I die, you die, we all die. Why do I die here? There's 2 big reasons that I die here. Number 1, I do, if you really slow it down here, I do miss a few shots on this enemy, okay? Which gives him the, you can see right there, I kind of miss a few shots. That gives him the chance to get away. Now, that is absolutely why I lose that gunfight. But on top of that, why do I get stacked on here? The reason that I get stacked on, which is what happens to a lot of you guys here, is because there's obviously 3 enemies and I had no information. I had no UAV, I had no portable radar. If I had known that there were 3 enemies here, I would have played this differently. But I get caught off guard. He pushes back to his teammates just like every other teammate would, right? It's the normal play to make. And unfortunately, I end up going down. It's not that big of a deal. I think we spent some time getting Loadout. We spent some time regaining right now because we obviously died right there. And we're still going to go on to drop 41 kills because of aim, because of movement, because of information, and our ability to get clean kills. That's a really big one, guys, when it comes to getting more kills, is starting to get more clean kills. What do we do from here? I decide ultimately to not go perks. I grab my C9. I grab a floor loot cipher that I feel very comfortable with. Let's go ahead and get back into prison. Now, when we get back into prison here, there's a few things that I'm looking for. I'm always going to be looking for people top prison that I can potentially land in on and get an easy kill. Now, I see this guy right here, okay, rotating 2 grandmas, and I want you to remember this guy in particular here, okay? And then we see this guy flying in. Now, as I get a little bit closer here, I happen to see this enemy down below. We're just going to always look for the 1v1 fight, guys. A lot of people are like, Joe, I constantly get stacked on. And it is for one of 2 reasons usually. Number 1, again, like I said, lack of information. And number 2 is you're just over aggressive. Besides those 2 things, you really shouldn't be getting stacked on that often because that's a decision-making dynamic. That is something that we have to choose fights better. And it is going to happen, guys. It 100% is at times. But there's, we just focus on regaining. From here, always working our way towards our next fight. This is really important. We're going to push our way this direction. We're going to go ahead and get this down. Now, even if we aren't able to get this thirst, right, I'm going to work my way up. He's going to revive here, but he's going to be so low health, it doesn't matter. So that's where I'm not too concerned because we easily get that down. And then from here, I just hear this guy pushing up down below. The biggest tip I can give you with audio, because audio isn't really good, right? Directional audio. Understanding is this guy to the left, to the right, above, down below. That is tough. A lot of times I'm listening for surfaces, and surfaces sound different. Metal sounds different than the carpet, which sounds different than wood. So I'm just listening for surfaces. The other thing that I will highlight, and you kind of hear that guy running up down below me there for a split second. The other thing that I will highlight here is, number 1, first shot advantage. He is broken before I take 1 plate of damage. He's already down to no plates, right? So at this point, it's on me to just finish this off. The other thing that I will say, a little bit of basic strafing. You can see the bullets flying next to me here, which is what allows me to take less damage and ultimately win that. Now from here, we're going to get this thirst, and we hear an enemy flying in, right? We hear that parachute. We're always listening for those parachutes because that tells us that there are people around us. Not 100% sure where anybody is, though, until right here, okay? Listen. Listen. So we hear some shooting, okay? When it comes to acting on information, right? Information allows us to anticipate enemies, which allows us to get the first shot, which allows us to win more gunfights. See how that kind of pieces together? One of the biggest pieces of information you can act on is going to be weapon pings. We hear shooting, we look at the minimap, we see the weapon ping, this guy's on my level, so I'm just going to work this direction. Now, I'm not going to full send that guy, right? I'm not going to full send him. And by the way, if you haven't figured this out, this is a really in-depth breakdown. If you want to watch a 40 kill game where there's no pausing, this isn't the channel for it. My whole goal is just to help you get better. So we're going to really break down everything here. So you can see I'm just playing positioning here because I don't know how many enemies are in. I'm lacking that concrete information that tells me. So I'm just kind of playing positioning. We see enemy number 1. And we actually hear, you can kind of see it right here as well, but we kind of hear the parachute of the guy jumping down. Now, I don't see anybody else jump over, so I'm going to go put the pressure on this enemy. There's one big thing that I want to highlight in this gunfight that really good players do really well, which is, this is a very tough skill to learn, okay? Which is, I'm going to aim down sight. You can see, actually, we start with a little bit of a hip fire. We aim down sight. This guy starts to move. Okay, so I un-ADS, I re-ADS, he moves again, So I un-ADS, I re-ADS to track in. And that is how I'm going to track this enemy, because keep in mind, with our ADS sensitivity multiplier, right, my ADS sensitivity multiplier is a 0.85. So when I'm aimed down sight, my sensitivity is going to be slower. So I'm going to un-ADS so that I have a better sensitivity. Okay, this is the really in-depth breakdown of why we do it, at which point I can re-ADS in once I catch up to him and then start to shoot again. It also does help with aim assist as well to kind of re-lock onto that enemy. I don't know where any plates are. I see this guy down below. I'm just really focusing on plating up right now. Don't know where this guy is. I end up hearing him. Again, that little bit of concrete, right? That's what I'm listening for right there. Listen, you can hear the concrete. I actually think he's like over this direction here until I hear more of a solid, piece of concrete. You hear that? Do, 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 do. It's a different sound than if somebody's running on wood. Again, not going to let that guy get away. We're going to go ahead and take that full kill. We're already at 8 kills, by the way. One guy straight ahead. We hear the parachute right down below. And this guy, notice that un-ADS. We're going to let this play for a second here. We got people all around us. We have people everywhere. What I am thinking about in this moment goes back to prioritizing loadout. I want to get a better primary, something that's not just 3 attachments here, right? I want either my loadout primary, whether it's the Cypher, the Model L, or somebody else's loadout primary. But I do know that there's people all around me. I feel comfortable with this Cypher, but I'd rather get something that has a little bit more recoil control that I feel a little bit more comfortable with. Once again, when it comes to hitting shots, guys, got to be able to get this down in thirst, because this down in thirst is going to give me more information. These are the ones right here when it comes to basic recoil control. Being able to just consistently track enemies and get good shots, and that's where it does all begin. At the end of the day, you can have great anticipation, you can have great movement. You've got to be able to hit shots at the end of the day, and that is the most important thing. But there are other factors as well. Right here, we see a little bit of movement. I anticipate inside, slide cancel right there. Even though we don't get that first shot, hey, we're going to use a little bit of movement here, a little bit of strafing, jump to the left. You can literally see the bullets missing me once again. That is what allows us to ultimately win that gunfight, because we are down to half health here, right? We're down to about 75 health. One enemy above, one enemy down below to my right side. And then from here, that's another one, guys. The surface, I think this guy's on my level. Like, this sounds like this guy's on my level, and then I react to him being above me there, and we're able to just go ahead and clean that up with that aim. Let's keep rocking and rolling. On to the next gunfight. Where is it? One guy down below, over to our right. We hear some people kind of pitter-pattering around, have no idea, and there we see the anticipation, right? This is it right here. This is it. We hear the pitter-patter. We anticipate, we slide cancel to get our crosshairs out, right? That gives me the ability to shoot. I'm going to hip fire before I ADS, right? Get in the habit of hip firing first. Right here, you see this guy's already broken. I haven't even taken damage. At this point, this is an easy gunfight win for me. And the biggest thing when it comes to winning more gunfights as well and starting to string together kills is this right here. If there was another enemy, say there was another enemy that was kind of like tucked back behind this wall right here. So say he's like this way. Okay, and he's pushing here. I can 100% challenge this knowing that I've only taken about 25 damage, right? If I take a bunch of damage there, then I have to back off, reposition, and what do I lose at that moment? If we really piece this all together, I lose the concrete information when I have to reposition, because I have to take time to plate up, at which point I don't know where that enemy is. Where do we got? On our level, over to the right side here. A little bit of anticipation. Trying to figure out this guy's flying in. We're just going to go ahead and hit shots there. End up getting caught a little bit off guard, but we're going to move first, shoot second with this guy with the pistol. Take out both of those enemies. And at this point, guys, I'm feeling good. I'm in flow state here. I'm pacing really well. I'm executing really well. We're using basic movement. I'm not doing anything fancy here. I'm not doing 360s. I'm not YYing like crazy. All we're going to do here is just continue to execute. And once again, this is the same TTV kit as before. One thing that I will say, and I want to correct myself here, and I make this mistake, which a lot of you guys do as well. Be very careful turning a corner without your gun being out, right? I am finishing plating right here. I'm not done yet. I'm almost done. But be very careful because I am exposed. If he anticipated a little bit better, I'm in a really bad position here. Now from here, once again, we see the same thing. We're going to shoot. First shot advantage. I'm up 150 health. He's actually going to slide. So what do? I'm going to un-ADS. I'm going to re-ADS on him. We're able to get that down in thirst. People in tower. There's still a bunch of people all around us. So you're really seeing the importance of that first shot here. I don't know where this guy is. Where is he? We're just kind of moving and grooving. How did I know that guy was there? How? Watch. Shooting. Look at this. This is how I knew he was here, right? So I know that he's around the corner, kind of all the way down this way, and then I happen to see him run across. We're able to hit shots there and take, not take any damage, which allows us to kind of keep moving. Now, this is one of my favorite plays right here in this whole gameplay, because here's how this breaks down. I anticipate around this corner here, okay? So we're going to get this down in thirst. We're going to work to lobby here. We hear this guy. We execute perfectly. We get the down, but I also see this enemy right here. So when we talk about winning gunfights and re-challenging, I know I have my mental note that I'm almost out of ammo. Why do I know I'm out of ammo or almost? Because I didn't reload after the first enemy. So I downed the first enemy. I reloaded. I thirsted him, which took some bullets. Then I downed this guy. Mentally, I know that I'm getting low on ammo on the C9. So in order to set up the re-challenge, okay, instead of just shooting this guy, we're going to break the line of sight because now this enemy has no idea what I'm doing, at which point I'm going to re-challenge. I'm going to anticipate. I'm going to get that first shot off. Once again, he's broken. I've taken literally less than a plate of damage, and that's going to allow me to ultimately win that gunfight. And you can see that first shot advantage is potentially 150 damage. That is potentially a 50% advantage to the person who gets it because of how much damage these guns do and how fast the TTK actually is. Now from here, we're in a good spot. We've got 20 kills. We're going to go in and pop UAV. By the way, guys, I am going to kind of let this play a little bit here. If there's big stuff that I do need to highlight, I absolutely will. Or I'll talk through aim movement, positioning, gameplay strategy, anticipation. But I really kind of want you to see this at full speed and see what I'm working off of. People over to the right side here, okay? Now I'm tracking these enemies. I'm going to push up. I love this play as well. So once again, we just kind of piece this whole thing together where I shoot this enemy. I see this guy over here. But I also know that the Terminator skin is probably going to push over. Why do I know that? What would you do? Wouldn't you push me right here? You would push me. So I'm going to use that against him. Anticipate. Once again, get first shot off. He wasn't able to plate up because he probably didn't have plates. He probably just landed back in. And now from there, we figure out what our next move is. But I still know that that skin is over to my left somewhere. So I've got to be careful. Down below in lobby, weapon pings. This guy just gets absolutely obliterated. This guy just gets absolutely obliterated. For those of you guys who don't know this, the one advantage where YYing does help you is to cancel your reload. So I'm stuck in a reload right here. I hear this guy literally right on top of me, at which point we're going to move. We're going to slide out. And this is a 50-50. This is just who hits better shots because I haven't really tracked him yet. He hasn't tracked me yet because I moved. Then from there, once again, 150 health advantage. I've taken 25. And from here, even though I'm out of bullets with the C9, I know that he's stuck in this cell right here. And we're just going to easily get that kill. I'm not going to stay trapped in the cell, by the way. I never want to reload. I never want to reload or plate up in the cell. Why? For the exact same reason that he just died. Because you're trapped in there. There's nowhere you can go. And the moment we get out of here, at least I have options. I can go straight and right. I can go straight and left. I can go to my right. I can go backwards. Like, I have options here. I don't want to be trapped in a corner or trapped in a cell. People over at control. Right? We see the PA. We see the car to my left side here. We're just anticipating around corners. That's it. We're just anticipating around corners here. And listen. Okay? See, did you hear the door? The door is why I anticipated. Now, why do I die there? Once again, dying's going to happen, guys. Why do I die here? Lack of information. Listen for the door. You hear the door. The door's literally... You know the door's right here. The door is 100% right there. So I anticipate that way. First shot advantage. Not quite broken, but I put myself in a good position. A little bit of a jump to the right there. Just basic movement, right? Strafing naturally. And this is important, guys. I've never said this before in one of my videos. But when I jump strafe, I am already strafing, right? So I'm always strafing in gunfights. All I'm doing when I'm strafing is then making the decision to jump. That's just an in the gunfight decision to jump, but I'm already strafing. So that's a very important key. It's not a commit to a jump strafe. Why do I die here, by the way? No information, right? I don't have the information that there were 3. I thought it was 2. I get caught by the 3rd guy, but no worries. We have loadout. Let's go ahead and regain here. The other thing that we do have that I got very over aggressive. This was a really bad play, and the reason that this is so bad is because this could have cost me my 40 kill game, which would have sucked. But is what it is. Let's go ahead. We've got loadout. We're going to go with the C9 because at the end of the day, I have a feeling I'm going to be in more close range gunfights at this point than long range because I'm going to push right back into prison here. So I'm just going to try to find something on the ground here, you know, a long range gun. I unfortunately can't, but we do end up grabbing enough cash here that we can go buy our Cypher. Right, we're going to take advantage of fire sale here, aim, movement, positioning, and gameplay strategy. Cypher, or sorry, not Cypher, Model L, UAV, we get right back in the mix, right? No wasted time here. Nice. Another guy around the corner. Boom, and we just hit all high damage areas there. This is just basic movement, right? Nothing special. Slide backwards. Little bit of a jump strafe to the left there. That jump allows me to mix in high damage areas. And the one thing that I'm looking at here, you can see the difference here with information, right? The one thing that I'm watching here is these 2 enemies, okay? Are these 2 enemies pushing me, right? Are they pushing down the stairs to help their teammate, or are they just chilling? You can kind of see, like, I'm watching UAV here, right? Oh, he's kind of getting a little bit closer. But at this point, I kind of want to bait him into pushing. Nope, they're both up top. They're both playing the stairwell here. Pre-fired that a touch too... Yeah, I don't know how I died there. I still have no idea how I died there, but it is what it is. Guys, we are still going to drop 40 kills here, right? Losing gunfights is part of it. That is part of it. Now, this is very aggressive of me flying back in, but at this point, I was ready to get back in the mix. So definitely a slight mistake on my end. Be ready for enemy number 2, right? Because we know that not that much time has passed. Right? Not that they haven't rotated out of here yet. So when I see enemy number 1, I'm already going to anticipate enemy number 2. Slide cancel to get our crosshairs out. First shot advantage. This guy can't do anything. That's a pretty easy 1-2 right there. Eyes immediately go to minimap just to make sure that I'm okay. I have a feeling that I'm okay here, but let's just 100% make sure. And now my thought process is very simple. Let's get my guns back here, right? Let's get my guns back. I know they're floating around here somewhere, right? Let's go ahead. Perk package. We've got our C9. We're going to go ahead and grab it's right here. There's the Model L. And we're back and rocking and rolling again. We're back. We have momentum. We just got to figure out where some people are. Playing some information up top. This guy's straight ahead. Take the fact that that guy lagged out of the server probably, and people over this way here. Now, I end up playing this a little bit more aggressive, right? Especially since Respawn has disabled at this point. Respawn has disabled, once again, weapon pings, guys. Weapon pings back behind me, right? Weapon pings right here. We hear them, we hear them, we hear them. So we check radar, and then we're going to go ahead and kind of third-party this a little bit. You know, potentially try to get a kill or 2. There's the down. This guy down below me. Back off that fight. This is a big thing when it comes to gunfights, guys. When it comes to winning gunfights, okay? So we have this guy right here. I end up catching this one pushing up the stairs. One of the biggest things, and if you did make it this far, seriously, thank you guys so much. One of the biggest things when it comes to winning gunfights is getting a sense of when you're not going to win the gunfight. You just have a feeling like, I didn't get off to a good jump. I feel like I'm not quite hitting high damage areas. You know, right here, I just didn't love the gunfight I was in, especially with the enemy to my left, that blue skin. So I just decided to back off. Also, Respawn is disabled. So if I die here, that's it. Game over. You know, that's a wrap. Like, I got to re-queue, and I don't get my 40 kill game. So I'm trying to play a little bit more strategic here while also keeping up some of my pacing to push for that 40. Once again, just got to get out. right? I anticipate the blue skin. I anticipate I see the blue skin slide across. I anticipate the blue skin inside. The moment that I see this character skin right here, I know that it's 2. I'm never going to win this situation, so I barely even shoot before deciding to get out. And then we've just got to finesse. We've got to finesse. We use the melee to our advantage to give us unlimited tack sprint. We third party this straight ahead, or try to. Let's back off here. Let's back off. Let's play it up. We were definitely getting a little aggressive here, but we got time. We got time. We have teams. We have buy stations in. The 40's still in play. A little bit of basic strafing right there. That's a tough gunfight to win, but we're able to win that gunfight. We're able to track that enemy. Let's go ahead and figure out where other people are. Now, at this point, we don't have any information. So that's the one thing that I'm a little nervous about here, is I don't really know where anybody is. Right? I don't have anything concrete to act on. This guy's over here. Now I decide to go put the pressure on that enemy, meet him down below. Let's not chase him. Let's think ahead. Let's think ahead here. This guy's dancing, but again, first shot advantage. I just had 150 health advantage there. Pressure's on him. There's really not much he can do. If you're in that situation, guys, the one thing you got to do is just continue to break the line of sight as much as you possibly can until you're replated, and then anticipate that enemy chasing you. Here's some footsteps. This guy's right here. I'm not going to chase that enemy. I'm going to think ahead. Right? Just like I said, I think ahead. I'm not going to chase him there. I'm just going to think ahead as to where he's... If you were... Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If you are this enemy right here, where are you going to go? I mean... Honestly, the only play you could probably make is to sit outside this wall, but then you're potentially exposed to top prison. You're potentially exposed to people in harbor or, you know, around, maybe people rotating into prison. So really the only place that most people are going to go is down below. So I'm just going to think ahead and say, hey, I know that's what you're going to do here. That's a pretty obvious situation. A little bit of a tough circle pull. We have one enemy straight ahead. Now we have 2 enemies, right? So we have 2 enemies here. I'm going to play a little bit patient. I'm going to play a little bit of positioning here. There's the down. Still worried about enemy number 2. Now, what do you do in this moment? I'm going to challenge you. What do you do in this moment? How do we get the thirst without putting ourselves in a bad spot to enemy number 2 back here? Play the angle. How many of you guys make this play, right? I can get the thirst here, and I can't get shot from my right side. These are the little things that you need to do in order to put yourself in a better position. Now, what do we think about? Well, look at circle, and this guy literally has to rotate to me here. This guy has to rotate out of here. There's nothing that enemy can do. He has to rotate out and put himself in a bad position. Now, we're in a 1v2v1. Okay, so there's a... Nope, now we're in a 1v4. I don't know if it's probably a 1v3v1, but I'm not 100% sure. Use our recon drone. Why? Information, right? That's what I want. I always want to act on information. Decide to ultimately make an aggressive play here. Again, once I have the advantage. Broken, we're going to go take zip here. I want this guy out of the fight, at which point we can go ahead and worry about this team that is down below me. Then from here, guys... Aim, movement, positioning, gameplay, strategy, anticipation. Positioning. Aim, movement, gameplay strategy, aim and movement, thirst, gameplay strategy. He's pushing up. Big brain. GG's, 41. Guys, I hope you found today's video helpful. Aim, movement, positioning, gameplay strategy, anticipation. Just get that first shot. You're going to start to win more gunfights. As I always say, let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.